are actually going to get to the Russian officials. Today is Sunday, March, I believe 26th right now. Yeah, it's 26. Again, with the audio on this baby, not so good, but I want to try to keep it. I want to try to continue doing these kind of things. I might do it with this thing for a short period of time. I kind of find these to be more interesting, I guess. Just kind of like while somebody's driving, getting somebody's thoughts on things. I don't know why. Maybe it's more candid, maybe it's a little bit more personal when you're doing stuff like that, or maybe it's just a different setting besides just somebody in a stationary position, sitting in a room with a camera. I kind of like this because it's a little bit more involved. You're kind of getting them while they're just kind of doing their daily routines and stuff like that. I'm on my way to work again. Today's an 11 to 8 day, or actually no, this is a 12. This is a 12 to 8, so about 7-ish hours, give or take, depending on how long I'm there. I might work a little over. Last night we worked a little bit over because we were running a little bit slow. And again, being a utility worker, oh, whoa, I don't think I got him. There was a turtle on the road. I should have stopped for them. Kind of came up on me a little too quick there, but I did go over him. I probably should have stopped and helped him across, but I'm on my way to work and it's kind of quick. I gotta be there, so otherwise I probably would have just stopped and helped him across. So I did go over him. I wasn't trying to go, because I did see him, so he's good. I'm just hoping he gets across the road safely. So yeah, that was a turtle. So these are the kind of interesting moments that you might actually have while people are doing these kind of things. Little interactions, little things going on in the world. So I guess that's kind of what it is, So I don't really know what I want to actually talk about today. Since it is Sunday, I did have a meeting today, and the meeting would be Kingdom Hall Jehovah's Witnesses. We have meetings every Sunday, just like somebody would go to church, kind of every Sunday. Then we also have Thursday Theocratic Ministry School, where we are trying to learn how to go out and minister to people, whether it be knocking, studying, doing things like that, giving talks. We're kind of trying to learn the ropes, I guess, and trying to help us understand how to better witness to people. And there's a lot of good spiritual benefits, and a lot of even just good social skills that you can learn through doing these kind of things. And maybe I'll link this video in the description, because I know I'll probably end up posting some of these. I actually enjoy doing these, so I'll end up posting some of these up. So that's if people find them. I don't care. But yeah, like there's a video that's out there where this guy's going on, and I forget who his name is, but he was talking about the millennial question, and he's a guy that does talks, motivational kind of stuff, motivational speaking, things of that nature, and basically just going on about how we're so consumed with technology, how we don't develop personal, deep, meaningful relationships, and in the workplace there's always phones, there's always distractions, there's always things like that. So he's basically just boiling it down to this generation. It's not really this generation's fault that they're like that. we were dealt a bad hand, and we're kind of born in this world the way it is. So we just kind of have to make do. And some of the people that are already in these high-ranking positions and employing some of these millennials have to work a little bit harder to develop some of this stuff in people. So with the JW stuff, you can actually develop a lot of those skills through that, like interpersonal skills, developing relationships, becoming friends with people, getting out of your comfort zones, like social interaction, especially going and actually doing the door-to-door stuff, which I have started to do now. I'm observing still, but I'm still trying to learn how to do that kind of stuff, how to present and all that. And eventually I'll probably end up doing talks, on stage. Actually do Bible readings and talks eventually. I mean, that'll probably be way on down the road, but once you get so far, that's kind of what's going to happen anyway. Just the general progression of things, because you're going to want to progress, as any individual would. You have goals and aspirations. You're going to want to progress further in ministerial stuff, godly devotions, and stuff like that. And I don't really want to make a lot of these extra preachy and go on and on and on about things, but I do like to touch on the facts that could help people understand where people are coming from whenever they are religious, because I feel like some people don't really understand what being religious really means. And it's not just about, it's not just something that you do that just brings you peace of mind, Religion isn't something that's meant to divide people like everybody claims. Like there's a stigma with religion that it divides people. That's coming from ignorant people. Anybody that says that is obviously ignorant of what religion really is about, and obviously doesn't probably practice fully, or they might be involved with Babylon the Great, which has a lot of false teachings. Again, I went through that in some of my other videos, and I'll continue to mention a lot of these things, so it's not me being repetitive. It's for new people that come into these videos. I'm talking and trying to help people understand where I'm coming from. So if there's new people coming in, Babylon the Great, it's, all of false religion. It's not just specific ones. This is all of false religion. And when people talk about religion and talk about divisions, they talk about it spreading hatred, they talk about all these things, they're talking about Babylon the Great, essentially. They don't really understand that. They're not really looking at it through a spiritual lens. They're just thinking, well, if that person's religious or if that person claims to be about God, they sure do hate a lot of people. There's going to be a lot of individuals out there who claim to be of God who are not true followers of Christ or true followers of Jehovah. They might have the name on their lips, but they're not really practicing what they preach. Plenty of other individuals that are out there that do these things, even though they may not even know that, they might not even think that, but in their own minds, they might be so set in their ways, the veil is clouded, they have so many things going on, they can't see through all that. But, I'm always trying to, I take it as a rule of thumb that I'm always trying to look at myself. I'm not over-analyzing myself, but I'm always trying to put myself in check. When I feel that I'm getting too haughty, feel like I might be getting a little too boasty or prideful, or I might be, looking at things through a negative lens too much, or I might be getting too critical or something like that, even too analytical sometimes. I try to put myself in check and to keep my perspective, trying to keep my mind in Jehovah's thinking. And today, when we did our talk, when we did our watchtower and our talk, is trying to keep us in line with how Jehovah thinks, with how Jesus thinks, with how God thinks in general. And sometimes we can lose sight of that. We can lose sight of that very easily in the world when we're not actually following God and His standards, when we're not constantly putting Him before ourselves, or even putting others before ourselves. If we start to lean on our own understanding, which is another thing we talked about. Don't lean upon your own understanding. And I'm not as good at clicking scriptures into my head, but you can go and try to read through some of these. Maybe I'll put the description of some of these scriptures so you can look them up for yourselves. No leaning upon your own understanding, putting on new personality traits, trying to keep in line with God's thinking, and so things of that nature. Because it can be very easily to be distracted in a world like this. And Satan knows this, because he's had, 6,000 years since humans' creation, to really perfect his deceptive world, his illusion, essentially. The great illusion, if you want to call it the great illusion, of you can have everything you want in this life, in this world, that we can slowly start to see deteriorating right now before our eyes. And you really, there's people out there that are desperately seeking and trying to grasp for something real, like a reality check, or, something with substance. But they're always overlooking these kind of things. They're overlooking religion, and that there is a true form of worship. Like, they're not looking at the fruits of the people. They're not, looking in the right areas for it. And you want to be like, yeah, but, you want to help them out and stuff like that, but they have to want it. They have to really want it in their heart. They don't want to, you don't want to, because some people just want their ears tickled, right? And the Bible talks about that too. Otherwise, I wouldn't be bringing up some of these things. Some of you that follow the Bible understand that too. Some people want to hear these things, that they can have things in this world. They're able to do some of these things, but sometimes that's just not the case. Sometimes you just have to be content with what is going on now in your life, and that this will be a stepping stone in your progression to becoming, closer to God, essentially. But wow, that person just went right in. Didn't even think about waiting. Like, they were going into the hospital over there, and they were just like, I was like maybe 20 or 30 feet from them, and they just went right in. I was like, oh, man. So yeah, I don't know. And I do want to get a better setup than this, camera-wise, if I do more of these kind of things, because I know the audio on this is just poor. I might try to adjust it if I do video editing stuff, but I don't think that's going to help much. So I apologize for that kind of stuff. But the camera quality is going to be real good, so I can at least give it that. The camera quality will be solid, because it's solid on the one video I just posted up, but it's really jittery. Oh, and I don't have it magnetized right now, but I put silly putty underneath it. I actually do have some silly putty. I might actually end up getting more of it too, but I just stuck it with some silly putty. It's kind of like just sitting there like that. So it works though. It's kind of neat. As long as it's staying there, I guess. I mean, it's still doing its job. Doing what I was wanting it to do. So yeah, I wasn't wanting to get sidetracked even with that. But I'm going to continue doing stuff like this. I get bored when I'm in my car, and I figure some people might get something out of these. Might end up wanting to search this stuff out themselves, look into it more. But yeah. There's a lady walking her dogs. I don't really know what type of dogs those are. Could be mutts, but... So we're almost at our destination here. Almost. So yeah, it can be easy to get distracted out there. You got to keep your eye focused, because a really spiritually trained eye can really safeguard you and help you, you know, help you along your way and keep you out of harm's way, essentially. And I'm developing that as I go, but I still find myself stumbling, you know, going back into certain ways of thinking and stuff like that. And I know that that's going to be a thing. I know that I'm never going to fully break away from that. I mean, like, you will, but some of that stuff will still, like, be creeping in from time to time, because that's just your fallen nature, and that's still Satan trying to tell you, trying to get you with that apple, essentially, or the fruit. He's still trying to get you. He's still trying to figure out a way, because he's always going to be there. And you have to remember that kind of stuff too, that he isn't giving up, so why should you? Like, you might get discouraged, you might get distracted, you know, you might lose sight, but whenever you do get these doses of reality and you get reinvigorated, you just keep going, you know, and stay around people that are also true followers, you know. Surround yourself with those people, try to engage them more, you know. If you need help, ask for help, all that kind of stuff. Just help one another out, man. I mean, that's what it's about. That's the human experience too. We're trying to help one another out. I'm just trying to help somebody possibly find the truth and draw closer to God. I don't know if it's actually going to help, but, you know, somebody might. So, point is, I'm making an attempt anyway. It may not work, but you know what? So be it, you know? And it's kind of a therapeutic thing too, I guess, you know, because I do talk to myself a lot, and I guess this kind of makes it feel like I'm actually talking to somebody, because I know that this will probably go out to somebody and somebody will see it at some point. So it does kind of help me a little bit to get my own thoughts out there a little bit. Not that I'm trying to really impose and put myself out there like, oh, well, I know what I'm talking about here. Now, I'll leave that up to the people that are listening here, whether I know what I'm talking about, whether they think, you know, I'm worth listening to. But yeah, so I'm pretty much here. So I might probably turn this back on when I get out of here, and just keep on doing what you gotta do to stay in line with God, hopefully. And I'm gonna turn in right here, and we're gonna end this. So you guys try to have a good one, and keep it real, and jobless, of course. I like to say jobless. Jobless instead of God bless. It's jobless. Bow, bow, bow.